I slid in like a ghost because Ghost of Tsushima just looks that good, man. Ghost of Tsushima. It blew me away, that 18-minute gameplay presentation. They started with exploration, and let me tell you, that exploration, all I have to say about it is wow. 1 million flowers. It looked so good, and it also had this aspect of, hey, you see those smoke trails in the distance? That's a visual cue. Go there. There might be a quest there or something to explore there. Or, you can press a button and let the wind guide you. And what I like about that, some people might think it's corny, but the whole let the wind guide you thing is one of those themes that's in a lot of samurai movies and a lot of just like Japanese themed movies in general, and I love it. Again, some people might think it's corny, but for me, right down my alley, and it just looks so beautiful. I mean, there were like 5 times in this trailer where I got chills just from how beautiful everything looked and how well thought out everything was. Not even just how everything looked, but the combat and everything. And I love how there's like quests to do and everything like that. It just looks like such a good world. And the music, of course. I mean, just listen to it, man. And on top of that, another thing that's really cool is how, usually in these trailers they have these guys who don't know when to stop talking, but this guy, he contextualizes what you're looking at and then just lets you experience it. It's great. Finally, they know when to shut up.
Whether you're just following a string of torii gates that'll lead you to a high mountain shrine, or maybe it's just a fox trying to show you something hidden in the woods. Either way, bring your sense of adventure and let the wind guide you.
But it looks great, the world. And onto the combat, just the samurai combat looked amazing, like you squaring up the enemy, and then you just, right? And then the guy, you're walking forward and the guy is still behind in the camera and he's like, I mean, what the hell? This game is awesome, right? And it has parries and all that sort of stuff and like cool takedowns and just, oh my God. I can't believe it. Just, this is everything I wanted in the game, because then you go set fire to a boat and it takes down the camp and like, and with these games usually they either skimp out on the like actiony combat or they skimp out on the stealthy combat. But in this, both seem fleshed out, right? The ghost combat and the samurai combat, they both look like they've had an equal amount of detail to them, and it just looks awesome. And I love how they have this thing of, you got spotted, but then he throws down this bomb that makes the guy like kind of thing, and then you can still stab him, but of course it alerts people into like kind of run away. I mean, that was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff, man. Just extreme.
Not funny.
Maybe if I have one little nitpick, it's that the Ghost gameplay, I would have liked if you could have chosen between Samurai or Ghost gameplay, like which one you part down as the game goes. But I guess, if this is primarily a story game in a lot of ways, it makes sense that you're going to go down one path, right, as the story dictates. Now, we still don't know for sure, but just the way the guy was talking in the video made it seem like, yeah, you kind of gonna lean more to Ghost gameplay the further you go down the storyline, which I mean, I suppose it makes sense because you're taking on this bigger Mongol force. You've got to be stealthy, right? And it makes for an interesting story. So while it's a little nitpick of mine to not have that choice, I think for some games sometimes it makes sense to not have that choice and kind of just follow along with the story, and you still get a lot of choice in the moment of where your character is in the story, as we could tell by the customization, because not only is it just the armor stats that you get and whatever, it's also little additive things, like I'm assuming stuff like footstep sound and stuff like that. It just, like, I love it when armor and like just the way you look in a game is so in depth in terms of how you actually play the game, and it's not just a cosmetic, right? I mean, that's amazing. Then you also get these placards, or whatever you want to call them, these little wooden tokens that add on extra effects to your character as the game goes on, and you kind of get to choose what those extra effects are. And man, I just can't believe how good this looks. And then they added things in that they didn't even need to add in, but they did, because they're like, hey, we're gonna give this our all. So we get a photo mode, which it doesn't just look like any old photo mode. It's got these effects that you can add on in terms of like, you know, which way the wind is blowing, like sparks, and the guy's facial expression. And then you can also have a black and white mode, and it's not just normal black and white. I can tell that they've messed with the contrast and the shadows to make it stylized, and I might play through it that way one day when I want to get a different experience out of it, you know. And then they have the Japanese voice acting, which, another little nitpick, I love that idea because I played all 3 Metro games in Russian with the English subtitles, and I kind of wanted to do it like this with this game, but the lip sync just seems a little bit, it just seems annoyingly off.
お侍様の戦い方じゃない。何を申す。
And I just don't know. Maybe if they brush that up, I'll do it, or if I want to play it in a certain way, I'll do it. But either way, they've added so many things to this game, and it looks like they're all pretty much done extremely well with
little nitpicks.
And of course, you can have
Little nitpicks.
I mean, a couple nitpicks in an otherwise amazing looking game. Who cares? Who cares about that, honestly? So, Ghost of Tsushima. That is all I have to say about that today. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Twitter link in the description. Discord link in the description. Oh, this game looks amazing. And I will see you in the next video.